My name is Mary Jane, and today I want to talk about something that many people mention, but very few truly understand: emotional intelligence. It's one of those terms that sounds abstract, almost like a buzzword. But in relationships, emotional intelligence is often the difference between connection and confusion, between safety and distance, between love growing or slowly fading. Let me start by clearing something up. Emotional intelligence is not about being overly emotional. It's not about crying all the time, and it's definitely not about losing control. In fact, emotional intelligence is the opposite of emotional chaos. It's stability, it's awareness, it's knowing what you feel, why you feel it, and how to respond instead of reacting. Many men believe that confidence is the most important trait in relationships, and confidence does matter. But emotional intelligence is what allows confidence to be felt as safe, not intimidating, not dismissive, not cold. Without emotional intelligence, confidence becomes arrogance, strength becomes dominance, silence becomes distance. Let me explain why this matters so much. Most conflicts in relationships don't start because of big problems. They start because of unmanaged emotions. A comment that lands wrong, a tone that feels dismissive, a silence that feels like rejection. And when emotions aren't understood, they pile up. They turn into resentment. They turn into defensiveness. They turn into emotional walls. Emotional intelligence is what stops that from happening. It allows you to pause and ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Why does this situation trigger me? What does the other person need in this moment? Here's something important. A man with emotional intelligence doesn't react immediately. He responds intentionally. He doesn't explode when he feels challenged. He doesn't shut down when emotions get uncomfortable. He stays grounded. And that grounding is deeply attractive, because it creates emotional safety. Many men were never taught how to identify emotions. They were taught how to suppress them. So when frustration, jealousy, or insecurity shows up, it comes out sideways, as sarcasm, as anger, as withdrawal. Emotional intelligence doesn't mean you never feel these things. It means you recognize them before they control you. Let's talk about anger for a moment. Anger is not the problem. Anger is information. It often points to fear, to feeling disrespected, to feeling unheard, to feeling powerless. A man with low emotional intelligence reacts to anger. He raises his voice. He becomes rigid. He tries to dominate the situation. A man with emotional intelligence pauses and asks, why am I feeling this? What boundary feels crossed? How can I express this without causing damage? That pause can save relationships. Now let's talk about vulnerability, because this is where many men get uncomfortable. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's honesty. It's being able to say, that hurt. I feel unsure. I don't have the answer right now. Ironically, vulnerability requires strength. Only someone emotionally secure can admit uncertainty without feeling small. And when a woman sees that kind of honesty, it builds trust, because it's real. Emotional intelligence also means being able to sit with discomfort, not running away when conversations get hard, not changing the subject, not shutting down, just staying. Staying present even when emotions are messy. Most people don't need perfect words. They need presence. They need to know they're not alone in the moment they're feeling the most. One of the biggest signs of emotional intelligence is the ability to listen without becoming defensive. When someone expresses pain, emotionally intelligent people don't hear it as an accusation. They hear it as information. They don't ask, why are you blaming me? They ask, what can I learn from this? This shift changes everything. Now let me say something very clearly. Emotional intelligence does not mean tolerating disrespect. It does not mean ignoring your boundaries. And it does not mean always putting others first. In fact, Emotional intelligence requires strong boundaries. It means knowing when to engage and when to step back. It means knowing when to speak and when silence is healthier. Emotionally intelligent men don't explode. They don't disappear. They communicate. They say things like, "I need a moment to think. I'm feeling overwhelmed, but I want to continue this conversation. I care about you, but I need to be honest." These sentences create clarity instead of chaos. Let's talk about emotional regulation. Regulation is the ability to feel emotions without being controlled by them. Life will trigger you. Relationships will challenge you. That's unavoidable. But emotional intelligence determines whether those moments bring growth or destruction. A regulated man doesn't numb emotions. He processes them. He understands that feelings pass, but words spoken in anger last. He knows when to slow down instead of escalating. And that calm strength is one of the safest energies a woman can feel. Women don't look for perfection. They look for emotional reliability. Someone who doesn't change personalities based on mood. Someone who doesn't turn cold when things get hard. Someone who doesn't punish with silence. Emotional intelligence creates consistency, and consistency creates trust. Another key aspect of emotional intelligence is self-reflection. Being able to look at yourself honestly and say, "I could have handled that better. That reaction came from my insecurity. I need to work on this." That level of self-awareness is rare, but it's also what separates growth from repetition. Without self-reflection, the same arguments repeat with different people. Different faces, same outcomes. Emotional intelligence breaks that cycle. It allows you to change patterns instead of repeating them. Now let's talk about something subtle but important: tone. Emotionally intelligent people understand that how something is said matters as much as what is said. They watch their tone, their timing, their energy. They don't bring frustration into moments that require calm. They don't discuss sensitive topics when emotions are running too high. They know when to pause and return to the conversation later. That's not avoidance. That's wisdom. Many men worry that developing emotional intelligence will make them lose their masculinity. The truth is, it deepens it. Masculinity rooted in emotional intelligence is calm, grounded, and present. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't compete with emotions. It leads through stability. And that kind of masculinity creates space for real connection. Emotional intelligence also improves every area of life, not just relationships. It makes you a better communicator, a better leader, a better friend. People trust those who understand emotions, their own and others. And trust is the foundation of influence. In my eBook, Understanding Her, I talk about emotional intelligence in a practical way. Not theory, not vague advice, real situations, real examples, real growth. The link is in the description if you want to explore it deeper. This series isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more aware of who you already are and learning how to show up fully. In the next video, we'll talk about conflict, why it's normal, why it's necessary, and how to handle it without destroying connection. My name is Mary Jane, and emotional intelligence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one moment of awareness at a time. Stay with me.